Hi guys, today I want to cover some pros and cons of Charlotte Mason. Okay, I got a user or a viewer request on doing a few pros and cons videos, and so I thought I would do one more. I might come back and do classical, but I don't think I will because I do have a recent video on classical, so I will direct you guys to my classical education video, classical versus Charlotte Mason. I'll leave a link to that one, and that kind of gives my take on classical education, why I was afraid of classical homeschooling, and why I am back full swing with integrating classical and Charlotte Mason, why I think, why I like classical now. So, but today I wanted to do a Charlotte Mason video. I still love Charlotte Mason, still integrate a lot of the principles into our home. So I want to do some pros and cons though, for those of you wondering and thinking about what kind of homeschool you want to have, what works for your family. And as you start trying on curriculum and trying on philosophies and ideas of homeschooling, maybe this video can help you. So I have a book here that I showed many videos ago. I will leave that also in my description box, and I talked about why I love Charlotte Mason. So this book was instrumental in helping me to learn about Charlotte Mason kind of from a layperson's perspective, but she does have some really hardcore writing, so go back to her anthologies, her volumes, and look at her original writings to really understand who Charlotte Mason is and what her teachings were. But this was written by Karen Andriola, who has a lot of info about Charlotte Mason, and she's a great teacher of this philosophy, so you can go back and read this. It's not so bad, you know, to read. Very easy read. So I'll be referring to that from time to time. We'll start with the pros of Charlotte Mason. One of the pros is that it works so beautifully with younger children. It's just the atmosphere that you're creating in your home that is, it's just freeing. I love it. I'm attracted to the charm of education and teaching your kids in a holistic environment where the focus is on nature, the focus is on slowing down and taking your time to really allow your kids to evaluate and to consume the information they want to consume from what's put in front of them. They're feasting on an idea, so it's not rushed. It is very slow paced. Lots of nature studies, lots of picture study, art study, music study. So I love all of that, and those are pros to me because I enjoy them, and I think many of you who are looking at different philosophies might find that attractive as well. Just the art of slowing down is beautiful in and of itself, just because we live in such a rushed society. Okay, again, just to reiterate, the art prints that so basically there's picture study where you have an art print of an artist's work, and your child is to observe that for a few minutes and really think about it, try to visualize it, look at it again, and they're really just observing the art. And so if you're giving different art pieces or artwork, putting that in front of them every day or a couple of times a week by the same artist, after 12 weeks they would have had experience with one artist and understood how, you know, how that artist is, you know, their what they tend to draw, what they tend to paint, and what their style is like. So that's beautiful. And then also the same thing with music. I would invite you to watch Simply Charlotte Mason video channel for more information, in-depth info about Charlotte Mason as well, because her channel is super informative. I can't think of her name at this moment, but it is the Simply Charlotte Mason YouTube channel. Check that out, and you can really learn from her and see what Charlotte Mason is. Okay, so it's a very beautiful approach. The emphasis is on good books, you know, no twaddle, good books, good, healthy, wholesome books that give your child something beautiful to think about and for their minds to feast on. Classics, living books, so books that bring history to life. All of these are beautiful things. So again, I love that. I love the celebration of seasons. I love the mother culture that's brought up in this book, actually, the whole mother culture of Charlotte Mason, the tea and the just integrating your thoughts as a mom, teaching your children and learning what teaching your kids is really all about, how you're connecting with their spirit and their soul, and it's just a beautiful thing. So there's that. I think some of the cons, and I'm going to get into the cons of Charlotte Mason, is that not everybody has that style of teaching and of raising your children, and your home life does not look anything like that. And for some people, it can feel like maybe that's a little bit old-fashioned, or it's not relevant for today. And so what I've done is I've picked out the pieces of it that work for us, that really intrigue me. I love the tea time. As you can see, I love my tea time with the kids. I do. We don't do tea time and poetry all the time, but when we do, it's a special thing. I enjoy it. And so there are elements that I enjoy, but the cons for me at times, the reason it doesn't work for us all the time, is because when kids get a little bit older, I just haven't figured out how to make Charlotte Mason work for my high school daughter. Just haven't been able to figure out how it would work for her. So I needed something a little bit different for my high school junior. So she is now using classical, specifically just classical materials right now, using the classical conversations. And that is the method that we've chosen to guide her through the rest of high school and on to college, and that is working for us. Charlotte Mason was just very relaxed, and it works so well with the younger kids, but I found it difficult to translate it to high school. I know that you can, and I know that there are many people out there that are teaching Charlotte Mason high school. So you can probably teach me a thing or two, but we are happy with the direction we've chosen with classical. But there is, like, it's definitely possible. I just don't have that experience. And so that could be a drawback for some people if you're finding difficulty in figuring out how that translates to older kids. But just do some research if you're determined to continue. And you can, all things are possible, right? So figure out what works. Also, one of the cons is that if you're slowing down with Charlotte Mason, you slow down, you're doing a nature study and picture study and all this, it's great. However, you might not find the immediate results, the immediate tangible results that you might be looking for. If you're the kind of parent that wants to do more traditional school work assignments, workbooks, grading, tests, quizzes, that kind of thing, then Charlotte Mason may not be the approach for you, because Charlotte Mason's more about narration and dictation and copy work and feasting on great ideas and not rushing through things and studying nature, studying poetry. And so it's a different concept altogether. So if you want grades and you want workbooks and worksheets, then I don't think that's a Charlotte Mason approach. And so you may have trouble transitioning from that if that's your mindset. So that can be a con. And so again, just to put myself in everybody's shoes, there are moments when workbooks are needed. There are times when you just really need something tangible to say, okay, this is how you score in math. I really need to see what your math scores are. I really need to see how you're doing with phonics or this subject or that subject. So in those cases, testing is important. We've done a lot of testing. In fact, we test every year. And we do a lot of, not as much as before, but we have used a lot of workbooks. We've used a lot of teachers pay teachers materials, and so we use paperwork and things like that. But it's not necessary when you're using a strictly Charlotte Mason. Even a classical approach is just not necessary, because the approaches that you're using allow you to test your children in different ways. So you don't have to use a standard type test. You could test them just by getting feedback through narration, right? So it depends on what you're looking for. If you want tangible results, if you want a grade, a really quick grade, then you might need something a little bit different. And then also, if you don't live in the city, I mean, if you don't live in the country, or if you don't live out by nature, it's not as easy to think about, well, how can I integrate nature? Because I live in the middle of downtown, in the San Francisco Bay Area, and it's like, yes, there's nature around us, but it's also in the middle of the city. And so I'm not going to be picking up pine cones off the ground because it's the middle of the city. Okay, so it's just not something you want your kids doing, is picking up random things off the street. So we have to go a little bit further out, but it's not too far. We can branch out and we can find nature. There's lots of great smaller cities surrounding us that are more nature-esque. So I could put more emphasis on doing those things and getting out and taking the kids, but I don't, you know, just life is busy and I don't, and I work from home. So like a lot of the time I'm in the office and I'm dividing my time between work and homeschool and taking care of myself and getting to the gym and stuff. So I don't really have as much time to get out in nature like I would like to. So that could be a drawback if you're not feeling like you live close enough to nature. However, even with not living close, in this book, there's a chapter, I don't know if it's chapter 24, but there's a chapter that tells you how, it's actually page 263 because I wrote it. It teaches you how to look for moments where you can capitalize on nature around you, even if you live in the city, if you live in an urban environment, that you can bring nature into your homeschool. So I will be reading that more. I just saw that actually a few minutes ago. I'm like, why haven't I read that part? Because that would help me in figuring out how to bring nature in. I love the whole hands-on nature thing. We really need to have that in our house, but spending a lot of time indoors, you know, it's doing school here and not out, right? And so I'd like to bring more nature in, and then I would like to get out more as well. So beyond field trips and things like that, I would like to just explore. It's just to go explore. But those are some pros and cons, and most of these are just pros in favor of Charlotte Mason. There could be a few drawbacks depending on what you're looking for, what's good for your family. Again, high school, I wasn't able to figure that one out, but what we're doing with classical is working perfectly for us right now. And then I'm bringing in elements of Charlotte Mason by the poetry and tea time with candles and the whole mother culture, and then just doing more picture study, because when we got our classical conversations curriculum, we purchased all the timeline cards, but we also got the artist and composer cards. So I was thinking of integrating that somehow into our picture study for next semester. So I will use the picture study cards by Simply Charlotte Mason. If I decide to do this, that I could pair it up with some of the art and composer cards, maybe. I don't know if that's gonna work, but we'll see how that plays out, if we even have time to do all of that. We'll see how that works. But it's always fun to think about all the things we want to do in our homeschool. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful to you in thinking about Charlotte Mason pros and cons, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.